All right, team, we're talking about a more advanced gymnastic movement, and that is the butterfly pull-up. Get that liquid chalk on. All right, before we even go into the butterfly pull-up, I feel it is necessary to say this, but if you don't have your strict pull-up and you haven't done kipping pull-ups, then I would highly recommend you get good at doing those two variations first. You need to be able to have the strength in your lats, in your shoulders, in your forearms, in your biceps, to be able to manage the actual movement and the load on those muscles, because the butterfly pull-up has a lot of tension and it's a more fast movement. So we want to make sure that we're strong in our upper body before we just advance right to this movement. I feel like it's kind of important to say that for all the trolls as well, who are going to say, oh, CrossFit, you guys only do butterfly, kipping, pull-ups. We do strict pull-ups at CrossFit Max, I promise. All right, so for the butterfly pull-up, hopefully by now you guys know the importance of that hollow position and the arch position. This movement is very similar to our kipping pull-up, but there are some slight differences. When we do our kipping pull-up, we typically start in that hollow position, and then from there we come through into the arch, and then from there we go over into that pull-up position where we snap back into the hollow and get our chin over. Now, the important thing when we're doing kipping pull-ups is to link them, you need to push away from the top position and then come back into that arch as we go. All right, so let me demo this. Let's see if the mic holds up. Here we go. Hollow, arch, and then you push away at the top here. All right, so that's the kipping pull-up. Now, the butterfly pull-up, what we're trying to do is we're trying to be thinking about making circles with our pull-up. So instead of pulling our chin like directly over that pull-up bar, for the butterfly pull-up, we actually want our chin to be over the bar at a further distance away, because when we come down, we need to be able to come into that kind of position in front of the bar as we go. So we're trying to form big circles, right? So instead of getting your chin right over here, we need to get our chin over the bar, but from further away, we need to come down in front of the bar and then start to form those circles. Whereas again, the kipping pull-up, we get our chin over the bar, we push away, and then come back into that arch position and go up. All right, so let me show you what the butterfly pull-up looks like. And just watch how tight I'm going to stay in my midline and in my hips here. Here we are. All right, when I was doing that, I was staying extra tight in that hollow and arch position, and as you can see, I was going over the bar from an angle further behind, coming through, and then back around here. So that is the major difference between the kipping pull-up and the butterfly pull-up. So for you guys to get better at this variation, should you start to do butterfly pull-ups with your chin over the bar? Absolutely not. What you need to do is you need to kind of come away from that kipping pull-up, and you need to learn how to do those little circles. So I know you got to put your ego aside. I know that you can do pull-ups because you can do strict pull-ups, and you could do a bunch of kipping pull-ups by now. You have the strength, but you need to put your ego aside, and you need to learn those circular positions. So what you need to get good at is maintaining that hollow position and staying super tight here, and also staying super tight in that arch position. So what we need to get good at is forming that rhythm of the circle. All right, here we go. This is what you guys are going to practice. You're going to hop up on that pull-up bar. And then from here, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna practice these tiny little circles, feet together, pulling with the biceps here, getting comfortable, right? And then as you get better at that motion of the circle where you're staying tight here, you're learning that rhythm, that motion. From there, you can start to advance it, right? So from here, get good at doing that. And then from here, these little circles turn into these little circles, turn into these little circles. So again, team, this is a more advanced movement. Get really good at doing those circular motions. You've been doing a lot of kipping pull-ups in the past, so you have to learn the difference of the mechanics, and it might feel strange at the beginning, but I promise if you get the little circles down and then eventually build up, take 2 weeks where you're building up and doing little tiny circles, 1 to 2 weeks. You just do maybe twice per week the little circles, and then 2 weeks after that you get some medium circles in, and then maybe another 2 weeks after that you do 3/4 circles. You're almost there. I know you can do pull-ups. Take a good 2 months, because eventually those butterfly pull-ups will be smooth sailing, and you'll find that you can get a lot more kipping and butterfly pull-ups in your Metcons. So we hope this helps. I believe in you. It's more advanced, but be patient with the process, and we'll catch you in the next one.